many of us has just heard from our child that there is a block in the ear, or there is a pain or an inflammation around the ear. So in that cases, you can just crush a little bit of garlic, slightly warm it up with oil. Just take the essence out of the garlic, and you can warm and just check the temperature in your palmar skin, and then you can put 1 or 2 drops of this garlic oil in the ear. Or you can keep hot and cold pad alternatively. Just watch out the sleeping posture. So this is like basically the Kaumarabhritya or the Balrog Vigyan has been already discussed according to Ayurveda Acharyas, and it is special science which works around the disease of the children and their treatment. So it basically deals with the importance of the physical, mental and psychological growth of the child also. So that is what we really look for, the physical, mental and psychological growth of the children. Why I am trying to insist this is physical growth and mental growth. Nowadays, after COVID, especially after the homeschooling, many children are physically underdeveloped because of various ailments like non-exposure to sun and a lot of eye problems, and even mentally, like they are more addicted to the mobile phone, and due to that there is an hindrance of the psychological growth of the child also. So actually the Kaumarabhritya does not start only after the birth of the child. It just starts from the pregnancy. So right from the day 1 of the conception, according to Ayurveda, we have different medications which we can give for the mother also. So according to our science, the mind of the fetus starts being expressed in the 5th month of the pregnancy, and the intellect starts from the 6th month of the pregnancy. So actually the pregnant mother should always adhere to a very sattvic diet. That is why we always insist in giving non-spicy or non-oily food for a pregnant mother, because even a spice or an oily food can affect the fetus in the womb. So from the 6th month onwards, it is eligible, it is advised, the pregnant mother is advised to add lot of medicinal herbs which can stimulate the brain growth of the child, especially like Brahmi, Mandukaparni, Shankapushpi. We have different formulations in Ayurveda which includes the Brahmi, Mandukaparni and Shankapushpi tonics, which helps in improving the brain development or the mental status of the children, even though it is inside the womb of the pregnant mother. So like many of our common question is, what kind of diet should be given to a child? So basically we all know it should be a balanced diet. It should be an equal combination of everything, equal carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins, whatever it may be. And it should be like focused on the natural light, heating and dryness. Especially we have to be more concentrating on the fibers intake of the child, and let it be an whole grain. Like don't dehusk. For example, when we just take wheat, most of them give the dehusked wheat. But when it is taken as a whole grain, that adds more fiber to that. So make sure that you give the whole grain, not in any transformed form of that particular cereal. And digestive spices such as garlic, ginger, cinnamon and turmeric can be incorporated right from very early childhood ages also, because these acts like an very good digestive and carminative. Because in our OPD, many of parents' common complaint is, my child is not eating well, my child is not putting on weight. But in that case, when we start adding little ginger, cinnamon and turmeric to their food on a regular basis, that can definitely help to improve their immunity and helps as an anti-inflammatory, and equally it helps to improve their absorption, not only the digestion but absorption, a good absorption of the food, what the each and every parent looks for. So, and many of the parents common complaint, they are not putting on weight, they feel very tired and they are not mingling well with their friends and all. So in that case, you can start oil massages for the children. Actually, this oil massage can be done from the very next day of the childbirth. Initial stages, we just use some pure coconut oil, because the skin will be very sensitive when it is in the womb, and when it just sees to the external environment, the skin takes some time to get adapted to the external heat and the cold. So the child, the baby's skin will be very sensitive. Just to start with, you can start some oil application with plain coconut oil, or even with the malai, that is the cream of the milk. Maybe for a week you can try and just leave it for 10 to 15 minutes and give lukewarm bath. Because oil massages can calm the nervous system, because the child has to get adapted to the external environment. And equally, this oil massage can lubricate and rejuvenates the tissue. It can promote the healthy circulation throughout. And in Ayurveda, we use some of the common oil which we use for our children, especially the newborn baby. The names are like Bala Ashwagandhadi Tailam, Lakshadi Tailam and Bala Tailam. It is made up of a simple drug called Bala, which is Sida cardifolia, and it is very good for the bone growth, especially the born child. The skin and also the bone health is very important. So in such cases, these three oils are very safe to use in a newborn kid. So we have heard about many families following certain rituals like samskaras. I'm sure many of our children have undergone sanskaras. I have just tried to make an attempt to know what is the importance of the sanskaras, what we do for our children. So sanskaras are nothing but the rituals what we do for a newborn child. Like you might have attended lot of ear piercing functions, like head shaving, hair shaving functions and all. So why do we do it for the children? Number one, it plays a prime role in child health system and overall development in each milestone of the child. And it can be a preventive aspect of many diseases, and it helps to adapt the child's mental health and the physical health to the environment. And number four, it gives an individual identity to the child, and it equally educates the child also. So for these noted 5 sanskaras, we have special sanskaras. So the first one is Jata Karma Samskara, that is like which is performed immediately after the birth. So it is explained in Ayurveda that as soon as the child is born, we have to, before we feed the breast milk, it is necessary that you keep the mixture of the grita and madhu, but not in an equal proportion. Both has to be in an unequal proportion. And if you can have a piece of gold just dipped into that, and you make 1 drop of this combination to lick in the tongue of the newborn baby, it is meant to be very acting as a Vaidya, Ayushkara and Pushtikara for the child. Because ghee and honey is equal quantity may stimulate the immune system of the child, and which is just going to happen immediately after birth. So this is like a very good combination, and there are a lot of children who have been very intellectual, those who have undergone these samskaras. So especially the combination of this grita madhu, that is ghee, honey, which is just dipped in a piece of gold, is considered to be improving the memory of the child. The next samskara is Namakaran Samskara, the naming ceremony. So why do we name the child? Why do we invite the whole family or many family to this naming ceremony? Number one, it develops the parental bonding with the baby and understanding the parental responsibilities. So when we chant this name of the baby in the ear, that's it's an indication of the parental responsibility. And in this day, we bath the mother and the baby with some medicated water. So again, it ensures the hygiene and the disinfection also. So this is like the basic importance of the Namakarana Samskara. And then we do Nishkrama Samskara. This is basically the child is taken out from the home for the very first time. Maybe in an 60 days or maybe after a month like this. So what does this Nishkrama Samskara does? It empowers the baby to adapt to the external environment. Because so far it has been in a very cold and very disinfective environment, that is like inside the house. But when we take the baby out from our home, this sanskara helps to empower the baby to get adopted to the external environment. And the places preferred is where they can hear the Shankanada or chanting of the Vedic mantras. So that is very serene, and the child can be much more in a very good way, brought up in a good way. So the preferred place is first to the temple. And then Annaprasanna Samskara. So like in the 6th month of your baby, you might have given the first food in a temple or anything like that. So after like maybe the weaning of the breast milk, or when we try to incorporate solid food for the baby, this Annaprasanna Samskara happens. So it is mainly done during the 6th month, which is mainly done to supplement the baby's food with the fruit which is rich in vitamin C, because that is very important for the development of the immune system, so that they get adopted to the solid food also. Karnavedhan Samskara. Usually it happens in different number of days. Some people does it on the 11th day, some people does it after a year, like that. But the importance of this is, when there is a local inflammation happening after the piercing of the ear, that may act as a buffering mechanism for the stimulation of the body's immune system. That is the reason we do the piercing of the ear. So now it has become a fashion. Even adults do it after a long time. But when we pierce the ear in the childhood, it has to be there, because it is one way it is going to be an stimulation of our body's immune system also. And this is like shaving of the hair. Especially this is called Chudakarma Samskara. This is done to examine if there is any deformity or any wound on the skull, and it can equally stimulate the hair growth also. Earlier days it was just done to detect the abnormalities like wide sutures, because in cases of a forceps delivery or like some complications during the delivery and all, like this microcephaly, macrocephaly, and a depressed fontanelle and all, this when we shave the hair of the baby, we can easily detect. So this was done during the earlier days also. Vedarambha Samskara. So Vidyarambham we used to say, that is like writing, making the habit to start the letters like Hari Shri Ganapatiye Namaha in the with a piece of the turmeric in a plate of a rice. So this is either turmeric or the gold. This is where we are educating. These many sanskaras has to be done during the milestones of the each and every child. And Upanayana Samskara. This is like it signifies the spiritual rebirth. So the young boy become a dvija, that is, he is twice born. And even the brain growth of the child gets completed during the 50th age. So during like between that, the Upanayana Samskara has to be done, so that they have a good memory to chant the mantras. And also that the thread which is tied around the waist, now actually it can be a mark for their physical growth, and it can rule out the malnutrition also. Swarnaprashanam is done during the Kshiranatha stage, that is the childhood stage, which develops the brain, which can act as a Vaidya Rasayana, which can help to improve their memory. It can help to improve their immunity and helps as a body's defense mechanism also. In this, we have the Swarna Bindu, a combination of certain Vaidya drugs with honey and grita, where we instill few drops to every child till the age of 16 in the Pushya Nakshatram. So this is specially done in this nakshatra. Among all the Ayurvedic centers, we nowadays follow it very religiously. So what do basically the infant or face in different stages of their life? Number one, the infancy is mainly the nurturing the seedling actually. So what are the common ailments what we face during the infancy? Number one, skin radiance, and many of the number two is the immunity, because that has been a common complaint nowadays from all the parents. And we have to do abhyangam and maintain the body temperature, and equally nourish the scalp and the body. And equally they face some of the digestive issues like colic pain, constipation, and also the gases. And in early childhood they usually face respiratory issues. So in that cases you can give honey daily, on a daily basis, especially the spiced honey with ginger, tulasi and all. Try to incorporate ginger in most of their food. Tulasi arka, that is a medicated preparations where that is an distillation, during like a distillation process we extract the essence of the tulasi, and even the karpuravalli, ajwain leaves. So these distilled liquid can be given to improve their respiratory health also, and obviously make them to undergo the Swarnaprashanam also on every Pushya Nakshatra, because that can help to improve the immunity also. So early childhood, what do they face? Commonly, and eating habits, because the eating habits are very poor, and they equally have sleep issues and behavioral patterns of the children also. And during the adolescence, their behaviors and hormonal issues also add on to their problem. So number one, the main medicine to be discussed, what I'm just planning to discuss is Chyawanprash. It is a very rich and nutrient jam, just made up of amlaki or nellikai. It can help the child to improve the immunity and the physiological growth of the child, because it is rich in vitamin C and it can help as a defense mechanism. So try to start this Chyawanprash right away. Either you can have it at bedtime or equally after breakfast also, followed by a glass of warm milk. So that can equally help and nourish your immune system of your child. Spiced honey. So you can spice your honey with little pinch of black pepper, cinnamon, cardamom, ginger or turmeric. Trikatu is a combination of pepper and long pepper and these things. So these you can have it along with the honey, because this can help to improve your digestion, and it can help to improve all the kapha doshas also. So especially when a child has an ear infection, many of us have just heard from our child that there is a block in the ear, or there is a pain or an inflammation around the ear. So in that cases you can just crush a little bit of garlic, slightly warm it up with oil. Just take the essence out of the garlic, and you can warm and just check the temperature in your palmar skin, and then you can put 1 or 2 drops of this garlic oil in the ear. Or you can keep hot and cold pad alternatively. Just watch out the sleeping posture. And number 4, like you can equally apply some ginger juice around their ears, because in case of any accumulation of the cold or kapha, that area will be inflamed. If there is any water retention, you can apply a little bit of ginger paste or ginger juice around the ear. Mustard oil is equally effective for the wax removal. So in case if it is very much dry or anything like that, you can just put 1 or 2 drops of mustard oil also. You can equally try olive oil. And in case of ear pain or any ear infection, you can just fry little bit of horse gram, powder it, add it with honey, slightly filter it, and you can use that combination as an ear drop. That can help to improve your ear infection. And childhood obesity. So nowadays after COVID, many children have started gaining weight, and they are finding it very difficult to shred their weight. In that cases, you can add shunti, that is the ginger, and there is a drug called vidanga, that is emplica rice, even the vacha, that vasambu, you can try to incorporate more in your child's food. And make sure they have more of green leafy vegetable. Honey and lemon juice can be given on a very regular basis. And mint as of we know, it helps like a digestive, and it's a very good agent to improve the flavor of the food, but it equally helps in the weight loss also, and it can enhance the taste bud of the child. So try to have some mint supplement or mint juice on a daily basis. And try to balance your meal and always favor warm food. Don't give them refrigerated or cold food or reheated food, and limit the sugar and the processed food, because instead sugar you can try to add jaggery and try to avoid all the type of the processed food, and keep more of a herbal supplement, because that is safe and without any side effect, and make them to do some regular exercises. They are you start walking with them or cycling with them, and ensure an adequate sleep for the child, and limit the screen timing. That is very common advice of the parent, but children don't listen, but try to divert their attention to some other thing. And Ayurvedic detox. So right from the age of like maybe 2 or 3, you can start some detoxification program. Ensure that they take a stomach wash on every 3 months or 6 months. If they are a very person of who depends on outside food for a longer timing, you can give purgation once in 2 to 3 months, a stomach wash also.